Right, let's take a look at some of the stories in the media with Chris Robot from Cass Business School. Chris, of course, many of the articles in the newspapers we're seeing at the moment are very much focused on 2017.
Indeed.
And what's going to happen next. So we've got, I believe we're going to be showing some articles here. The New York Times, first of all, tell us what that article is saying about 2017.
Well, the New York Times is effectively saying that the magic words that came out of the mouth of President-elect Trump about "I will reduce regulation" have pricked up the ears of any number of chief executives around the world who are thinking that they can quickly move into the American market and benefit themselves in some way, in terms of, particularly I think in terms of A, reducing costs, B, around things like mergers and acquisitions. So what the New York Times is saying is that this is an invitation to them to dive in, but it could be a double-edged sword, because if a CEO wants to merge and make a larger company, inevitably the result is fewer jobs.
Yeah, and what he seems to be saying is, as literally as possible, I'm going to keep jobs in the US. But for many people, it doesn't look like a very long-term strategy. What do you think?
Well, if you look at the nature of what's happening in terms of declining industries and expanding industries, etc., etc., a government has an ability to some degree to be able to manoeuvre the market and subsidise and all the rest of it. But in the final analysis, long-term, it is the real politique of the way the world is going, and it doesn't matter whether you're Donald Trump or the government of China. You know, you are not an island, and therefore you have to respond. So I think the problem that Trump has is essentially that he said we want to have less regulation, but less regulation is about common good, not about being a CEO.
Chris, there we must leave it. Thank you very much indeed. Bye-bye.